This is NEGOTIATEx TV.
Hey everyone, my name is Nolan Martin. I'm the co-founder and co-host for NEGOTIATEx, and with me today is my good friend Aram, who is also the co-founder of NEGOTIATEx. But more importantly, Aram, you want to introduce our guest?
I will. Thanks, Nolan. Folks, today we're have the pleasure of being joined by Mala Subramaniam. And Mala spoke to one of my classes. We're just talking about this about a year and a half ago. Was a very dynamic and engaged speaker. My students really enjoyed speaking with Mala. So I thought, hey, maybe if she's available, we'll bring her on to the show. She's written a great book called Beyond Wins. How to Eastern mindset for success in daily business negotiations, and I'm excited to talk more about that book. Mala, let me just say a few words about you. Mala is a corporate speaker, executive coach, and cross-cultural trainer. She brings a combination of Eastern and Western philosophies to the topic of negotiations. She has her MBA from Rutgers and a master's degree in sociology. She's also a certified Achieve Global Leadership trainer. Mala spent over 20 years in influential marketing and strategy roles at global companies such as IBM, GE Healthcare, and Dun & Bradstreet. Since 2006, Mala has given talks and led webinars, on-site courses, and provided leadership coaching to a number of clients. Cognizant Technology Solutions and Meltwater are among her major clients. Her cross-cultural talks have also reached Lincoln Financial, The Hartford, Express Scripts, Comcast, Putnam Financial, NASDAQ, Williams-Sonoma, SCORE, USSD, and others. Many more across both the United States and India. So, Mala, with that, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much, Aram. I need to get that description that you just gave. I can create a bio with that. You did a great job.
Thanks, Mala. All right, well, Mala, let's start off. I'd love to hear about your journey. How did you become an expert in negotiation? How did you get started in this field?
Aram, I had been doing negotiation without even realizing it for 20 years in my corporate job to get things done. And the realization came when I was laid off by IBM. I was sitting in the Westchester parking lot and I said, what just happened to me? You know, this is the biggest company, and I thought I would retire here gloriously. And I was laid off. And I looked back at my career, and it was a series of projects that I had done and projects that were accomplished well. But in trying to accomplish finishing it on time and, doing things, I forgot what was important: the relationships and the long-term results. So I was looking for immediate wins. And that's what made me realize that I need to teach other people what to focus on and what to do. And I saw people walking out of the IBM parking lot. I was there for about 3 or 4 hours. I saw people walking out of their, evening around 5:30 p.m. And I was thinking, oh my God, I wish I could tell all of them, think of what is important. I left my Eastern roots in trying to win the rat race. So that's was the beginning of the journey. And fortunately, Cognizant had asked me to come in and teach presentation skills and across communications, giving lectures on that. And while doing that, they said, can you teach negotiation? And I said, can I teach negotiation? I can. But the slant that I used in negotiation was not tools and techniques. It was more of build yourself. So that's when one of the students asked me, Mala, why don't you teach this or write a book about it? Because that will be interesting. So there it goes, Aram. That's my journey.
It's fantastic. And I would say that it sounds like it kind of starts from a place of personal need, which I can relate to, and I know Nolan can too, and then saying, I need to share some of this with other people.
So I just want to jump in. So in the book, you talk about mindset. So how do we first get our head around mindset? Why is it important in negotiations? And then kind of kick this conversation off.
Sure. You see, it's not about the tools and techniques that you have and all the, the computer, the technology, everything. It is the person in you that is going to be sitting at the negotiation table. And the person in you is the mindset that you have. I'll give you a very basic example. A lot of times people go there and, when they feel like they've gained a lot of weight, they say, okay, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight at whatever cost. Then they start on these milkshake diets, Weight Watchers, and all that. And yeah, it might last. You might lose weight, but you're going to lose a lot more than the weight. Your health, your sanity, because you keep, going yo yo up and down. So instead of thinking, I want to lose weight, if your mindset is health, or I want to climb the Himalayas, or I want to do this. I know this person who actually was overweight, could hardly walk, and then this trip of the Himalayas came in, and she really focused on her health and did hikes every day, every week, and she was able to climb the Himalayas. Not only did she lose weight, she was extremely healthy, that she was able to go up the elevation. So to me, the mindset is important. If you are internally strong, and if you are goal driven, and if you have the right attitudes, then definitely it is long term success. It's not about an immediate win. And the same thing, I always tell people, I do a lot of career coaching and mentoring. And I tell people, don't say, I want a job, because then you'll get any job. Think about, I want to be in a situation where I'm adding value. Then when you go in, you're going to present yourself as somebody who is accomplished, and how to match the requirements of the position and whether it is the right position. I remember, I was in that desperate situation. I had been laid off by Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And I said, oh God, I need to get a job. So that was the mindset with which I was approaching everybody. And I got a job that was miserable. They hired me as a credit analyst when I had very little background in it. It's just the way I was speaking that they were impressed and they hired me. And I quit the job within a month. So to me, mindset is very important, particularly when you go into negotiation. Did that address your question?
Yeah, I think it does. And I remember, Mala, you kind of built on this. We started when you visited my class. We did a little poll. We asked students, about some mindset pieces. Do you want to win or succeed? Uh, you know, are you going to bargain? Or are you going to negotiate? Are you going to react or are you going to respond? How do those concepts, those different, how do those play into this mindset that you're talking about?
Sure. If you want to win, um, then basically it's a short term. You're thinking of a beginning and an end. And winning is like, you go to a car dealer and you want to get the best price. And the car dealer wants to get the best deal out of you. So that's winning. It's a short term, there's no relationship, there's no long term thinking. Whereas success is a journey. And when you are in a company and you're working with people, it's not about winning. Because when you win, you're going to make the other person lose. And the more and more you're going to, have people lose, the greater the possibility that you're going to lose a lot more than, the project. So I think that is the winning. Success is long term. It's like if there is a beginning, but there's no end. You go into a job, you finish project after project after project, but success is built when you make sure that you have everybody involved in the project and everybody feels like they are part of the solution. And it's not like I'm doing it, so follow me. And here is a example of this person who was just constantly getting projects done, gaining all the visibility, and then at one point, the vendors, the colleagues refused to even attend her meetings because they were afraid she's going to rope them into something and they will not be able to either deliver or feel good about it. So her boss was, very encouraging because he said, "Oh, I'm getting all these projects and we're both gaining visibility. The division is gaining visibility." Then what happened was she had got a new boss. And when people refused to attend her meetings or the vendors refused to bid on the projects, then she went to the boss and she said, "Can you, she escalated. Can you help me get people to attend the meetings or things like that?" And he said, "Let's pause. You've lost a lot of vendor relationship. You've lost people in your team, and you've got people who are not collaborating with you. So, do you want to win or do you want to succeed?" So, winning is about you. Success is about everybody. So that to me is the biggest difference, and the same difference is between bargaining and negotiation. 90% of what happened in corporate America still happens is bargaining. There's no negotiation. This bargaining, it's like versus you. Wants, each person has wants and desires, and they're after that. And it's not solution driven. And it's not about long term getting everybody involved. And there's no leadership in that. Whereas success is, negotiation is about bringing everybody to the table and gaining consensus and trying to solve a problem. And so, and most of the times people sit at the negotiation or so-called negotiation table, they don't even know what the problem is and what the solution is. They don't even sit down to come to a consensus on what is the problem. It's like, for instance, I was doing a lot of, workshops with Cognizant, and they would always tell me, I was teaching negotiation. They would always tell me, "Oh, the clients are so demanding, so many priorities," and our option is to say, "No, we can't do it," or we'll take a stand. And that's when everybody's taking a stand. And then I said, "Did you ever think, why is the client asking for more projects? And why is it that they are demanding? Why are they changing priorities? Have you ever looked at what is the cause?" And that's when they paused. And I said, "If you sit down and figure out what is called, maybe it's because there's a change in management. And that change in management is causing people to react a little differently. So why not think, how can I help the client?" Because the definition of client is one who is dependent on the other. So client means the client is dependent on the vendor or the consultant. So they're dependent on you. When they are dependent, instead of taking a stand and saying, "I'm not going to do it," think about what is it that is causing them to make these unreasonable demands and work with.
That's a great framing. Yeah, that's such a great framing. It's gotta be difficult too. And it's something I think Nolan and I can say we've heard, working with, our, different clients who will say, "Ah, the supplier's the problem," right? "The supplier will never do this," right? And it's never really focused on ourself, and never that question that causes that pause, which is, why might this be occurring for them?
Exactly, and I think that's what, if you don't mind my going into the Eastern mindset, um,
Yeah, well, that's I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you that. So tell us, because this is this Eastern mindset, and the question is, does it have a place in Western business?
yes, it does. In fact, the Western, with its independent thinking and its series of wins and doing so well. I mean, it's the most advanced nation on on this earth. So, so you've got really advanced thinkers and everything. what is missing, I feel, and what was missing in my approach also in 20 years in corporate America was an internal focus. What is internal focus? Going inward and taking responsibility. See, when you're externally focused, you're always looking for reasons for your success or failure or your win or your losses. Internally focused means I take full responsibility for everything that happens. I create my life. I create the situations. I create the success and the failure. So when you take full responsibility, that's what internal focus means. And I think if the Western approach can take that internal focus and gain that balance, it would be a lot better. I mean, I'm going to give you a basic example. If you go into yoga, they always tell you to close your eyes when you're doing your and not to open your eyes and to look at the other person to see, oh my God, that person is able to twist herself into whatever, and I can't even fold my legs. Then you're externally focused and not internally. Because internally, the breath has to guide you into the movement or into the position. And if you're going to focus on the other person, and that's what internal focus means, taking responsibility for yourself and being guided by yourself. I love the fact that we have all these tools and techniques and everything, and I did a course and I've read all the books, the Getting to Yes, Never Split the Difference, everything I have read. And I think that's great. I had one student who came to my class and basically said, I attended the Harvard program, I attended this program, that program, but still, I feel like, I'm not doing well when I go to, make a deal or cut a deal or negotiate. And I said, that's because you're letting the tools guide you. You should be in charge. And for you to be in charge, you have to have the right mindset. And so that basically,
I was going to say I appreciate the yoga example, because if Nolan and I, and you're only seeing us kind of from the chest up, but if we were trying to do some twists and turns without keeping our eyes closed, it would be disastrous. And I was also going to say, I'm sure I'll come back to this at the end. I love the leadership focus, Mala, of what you're sharing. That is success, right? Is when there's a leadership component to this. That I create, and there's the ownership and accountability piece. And I do think that ends up missing so often from work we see.
thank you. Yes, I think that is the most important, the ownership. I am responsible. So when I go into any negotiation, I listen to soft music, I listen to some inspirational talks and everything. And I calm myself down and I realize I'm responsible for whatever happens at the table. Once people take ownership, then it's a totally different thing. And I feel that's what the Western world needs, because Western world is very transaction driven, and there is no thing to build relationship, and there is no kind of taking ownership. Like I never took ownership of all the problems that happened, that I kind of left a trail of problems in my corporate career that I didn't take any ownership. And that's where I felt that I had failed. But I don't blame myself, I take responsibility.
Hey, thanks for checking out this video on NegotiateX TV. If you found any value at all, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon if you want to be notified of future videos. And then we also have a couple videos over here that you might be interested in checking out. If you and your small business, your team, are looking to get negotiations or leadership training, then you can head over to NegotiateX.com and learn more about the coaching services we offer. Thanks, and I'll see you over in the next video.